Live in studio, we got Hunter Tyson. This is DNVR Nuggets.
Show.
Another day with the fellas. We upgraded from D-line to Hunter.
That's a big upgrade.
Big upgrade.
Big upgrade.
What is everybody? Welcome to the DNVR show.
Let's go. Let's go.
Live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. I've got Harrison and Brendan Vogt. No introduction for them today.
Yeah,
why? Very special guest in studio. None other than Hunter Tyson. Hunter, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
So I'm going to give you guys one guess. Hunter drove in.
Toyota?
A truck? You would never guess it, right?
I would have guessed.
I tell you, it was a stone cold lock that Hunter was going to be showing up in a truck today.
I would have guessed. We don't learn a ton at these summer league media days. Not necessarily. One thing I learned, Hunter, you're a country fella, according to Jalen Pickett. So
Is that what he said?
yeah, I'm learning a lot about you. Learning a lot.
What did he say? He said he's a country guy?
He says he gets him out into the country for sure. That's what I heard. So
Wow.
Is this true? You've taken the crew out?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I think I introduced him to some country music.
oh, okay, that's what he meant. Yeah.
Who are your guys? Who are your country? Who do you
Oh,
listen
man,
to?
I like them all. I mean,
Yeah.
mainstream guys, Morgan Wallen,
Yeah.
Zach Bryan, Parker McCullum.
Did you go to the concert last week?
I did.
Did-
Yeah, I actually saw both of them within
Really?
like the past month.
I think everybody
at,
in
Mile
Denver
High.
went to the Zach Bryan concert.
Yeah.
It's kind of
popular.
true.
Like everybody was there.
I know. I couldn't make it. I was pretty bummed.
Yeah, I couldn't. make it either.
Yeah, so, we're just getting to meet you. You know, you've been around, obviously, the team for a year, but, haven't done a ton of media. And I'm kind of curious, and one of the good ways to get to know you is, you just told me before we went live that you had 10 days off. Only 10 days from the end of the season to now. So what did you do with the 10 days that you got to just do whatever you wanted to do?
Yeah, so my girlfriend's down in med school in Florida. I went to see her for a couple days, and then me and a couple of my buddies, we went to the beach for Memorial Day weekend.
Nice.
And then spent a few days at home, and then that next weekend went to the beach again for like a little fishing trip with one of my friends.
Out like a sea fishing trip?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Did good. We caught a good amount of red drum. That's what we
Okay.
were going for. So yeah, we had a good time.
How big are
Red
those?
Drum? I'm not familiar.
You know us.
Googling.
He's a Carolina guy, so he's going to know.
Oh,
He's
okay,
gonna be
nice.
I've never been fishing in my life, so I'm
Yeah.
not familiar.
They were actually pretty big. I think the biggest we caught was probably close to 50 pounds.
Damn.
Dude, Jesus.
That's
Very big,
huge.
yeah.
I would have bet real money that you went fishing, by the way. Not to put you in
yeah,
a
there
box,
it is.
but I would have guessed.
A red drum.
You got me figured out, huh?
Yeah. I'll figure it out, brother.
So yeah, I mean that is kind of the question though. So is that what you do for fun? I mean, I know you're an outdoors guy. You've talked about
Yeah.
it, but what do you do to unwind?
Well, here, I mean, I haven't really gotten outdoors much. I mean, it's so much different than what I'm used to. But yeah, like back home and in college, for fun, I just like to, fish, hunt, hang out with my friends, like stuff like that.
East Coast fishing is different than out here though.
Oh, very different. I've never caught a trout in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been here a year, man.
I know.
It's not that
I
hard.
haven't been fishing one time
Really?
since I got here. Yeah.
My 7-year-old's caught like 20. You can pull it off.
Don't mock our guests. We're
You know,
trying
as
to.
a fellow fisherman, this is what you do. You have to,
Yeah.
you have to kind of measure each other up here.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't you think you'll get up? I mean, explore Colorado. It's perfect
No, I
for
probably
outdoorsmen.
will. I probably will. I mean, and I don't think there's that many guys on the team that
Yeah.
are like dying to go fish with.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
now my boy PJ's here, so maybe
you
we'll
go.
go check it out.
There you go.
All right,
you
there
go.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So it sounds like you haven't gotten to explore Colorado too much.
Yeah.
Tell us about this last year, though. Kind of walk us through. And, first of all, just getting drafted by Denver,
Yeah.
the experience and stuff, and your rival. Just
Yeah.
walk us through what the experience was like for you.
I mean, obviously getting drafted was a dream come true. I mean, not too many people can say they were drafted into the NBA. So, that was just such a blessing. I'm so thankful for that. And then, to come to an organization like that is just a whole nother blessing in itself. Coming off the championship,
Right.
obviously have some of the best players in the world, if not the best. And it's just, great guys to really learn from. And this past year was good. I just tried to, soak up as much as I could. Obviously, I didn't play as much with the Nuggets, but, spent a good amount of time in the G League, really just tried to get better down there. So, yeah, it was a good year.
What's it like when you get drafted to a team and it's a championship type team and you got Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, like Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, like these big names that I'm sure, you were watching growing up and watching in college. What's it like stepping into that environment when, suddenly you're teammates with those guys?
No, it's a bit of a shock for sure at first. Like, I still remember that first day I came in after getting drafted. Jamal was in the gym just shooting, and that was like right after the championship. I was like, this dude's already working out. Like,
do you go up and say hey right away, or
I don't even remember. I think he was like in the middle of a workout, so I obviously didn't go interrupt. But I definitely like talked to him, introduced myself that day. And then Jokic didn't get back till training camp because obviously he was in Serbia. But then like seeing him was crazy. Like all the guys, it's just you're watching them go win a championship coming out of college, and then next thing you know, you're in the same locker room with them. Right. So it's definitely crazy.
Real quick on draft night, before it happens, do you allow yourself to think about where you're going to go? And did you want to go certain places, which you don't have to answer? Yeah. But is it just, I just want to get drafted and I just want to hear my name?
So I definitely wanted to go to a good situation, and I think this is probably the best situation I could have ended up in. But just talking to my agent, we didn't know for sure I was going to Denver. Like, there was no promise beforehand, but I knew there was a good chance.
Gotcha.
And then a few other teams we were in talks with, but I had like a few people. I kept it very low key, but I had a few people at my house, and I kind of just told them like, regardless, after tonight, I'll be signing something with an NBA team. So like, this is a celebration. I didn't want to like jinx it, so I was like, I'm not promising y'all I'm gonna get drafted tonight, but I appreciate all y'all coming.
That's cool, man.
Then when my name was actually called, I think I had a good idea right before because my agent had called me. But I didn't tell everybody else in the room, so it was pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When did you think you were an NBA player? Like, when were you like, this is going to happen for me?
I always believed it. It's crazy. Like, in high school, I had a good high school career. I wasn't like one of the biggest recruits in the country, but I had a very good high school career. Going to Clemson, and then, I was at the end of the bench at Clemson my freshman year, and then didn't really start until my junior year. Then I had an injury, so like, people weren't going around town saying this kid's an NBA player.
Sure.
But, I always believed it. And, I didn't feel the need to go tell everybody I'm going to the NBA. But, like, I was so confident in myself. Like, if someone asked me, I would be like, I remember people were like, yeah, like, one point in college, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to go play overseas? And I was like, I want to play in the NBA. Like, I haven't given up on that dream.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I've just always believed it.
Me too. It didn't work out for me though.
Yeah,
Nobody
I had
was
some
recruiting me.
belief too.
I'm
but
actually the rare case that never believed. I didn't.
intramural B League champion though. Like, I will say that.
I'm only LeBron. only LeBron's
B-League.
age. There's still some hope here.
Did you grow up a Carolina or Duke fan though? Because you're from North Carolina.
Oh man, I won't lie. I guess it's all right to say it now. I did grow up a North Carolina fan.
Okay.
And I'm starting to like them again now because my brother just got there. He's playing at North Carolina this year.
Nice.
But I won't lie, like my senior year of high school and then during college, I absolutely hated both of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I told my brother, like, I'm not wearing a North Carolina shirt. I might wear the color for you, but like,
You can just throw on like
Clemson all
a
the way,
baby
baby.
blue, like, or powder blue shirt.
Yeah.
No logo.
No, that's
or
probably
anything.
what I'll do. Actually. Yeah.
That's funny that the hatred just came in right away.
Yeah.
You're like, it just completely dissipates.
No, I'm a Tiger for sure. I don't. Yeah.
That's funny. Tell me about your friendship with PJ Hall.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my best friends. We were roommates in college. We hung out all the time. So I was real fired up when I heard that, he was coming out here, going to sign with us. So, I'm really excited to have him out here with us.
Yeah.
What's his game like?
Man,
I've watched a little bit of his highlights, but I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player, extremely competitive, plays hard every game, can really shoot, got great touch, great feel, really can score.
Yeah.
Probably more athletic than you think, block shots, catch lobs, stuff like that. So he's a good player. I'm excited about us having him.
Did you guys like hit it off right away when you guys met? Like, how did that friendship develop?
So he's like 2 years younger than me. So I was actually his host.
Really?
Yeah, in high school. And yeah, I mean, he's a little immature, like, you know, as all high school recruits are.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, once he got to campus, we started hanging out all the time. And then, you know, we just got really close. So,
That's awesome, man.
That's pretty funny. Do you guys have a 2-man connection?
yeah, of course.
Is that going to come out in summer league? Like,
I
you guys
hope- I
have
hope
like
so.
little actions that you know?
I hope so. Yeah. We'll
Did you
see.
not feed Calvin some, you know, insider info? Be like, you should check out this PJ Hall kid.
I mean, PJ did well enough himself. I didn't have to say anything, but anytime he was mentioned by anyone in the front office, I was like, we need to get him.
Yeah, probably should look at him.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, though, we'll go back to you coming to the Nuggets organization. You know, Calvin Booth was very high on you, said a lot of things publicly about you, but what was his message to you in, you know, about why he believed in you or what he wanted from you when you came here?
Yeah, I mean, he just wants me to be myself. You know, I think he saw in me like toughness and competitiveness, like on top of, you know, different things I can do on the floor. But, you know, I think he was just impressed with that. And he saw, like, I wasn't a guy who, like, I had a very good senior season of college. But when that last game ended, you can check every mock draft, and I wasn't on any of them.
Really?
So I had to go to the Portsmouth Invitational, which I don't know if you're familiar. It's all the seniors. And I played really well in that. That got me an invite to the G League Combine. And I played pretty good in that, which eventually got me invited to the Combine. And I played better in the Combine than I did at the G League Combine.
Wow.
And then I had 15 workouts with different teams. So I really had to, you know, work my way up, I guess.
What do you think it was about, like, elevating levels of competition and yet you were performing better?
I mean, I think it's just, you know, the competitiveness and the self-belief. Like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to go out there and attack every opportunity I had. So
How important is that from the outside in the NBA? It just seems like the margins of making it or not can be pretty thin. And for some guys, even some guys we've seen in Denver, confidence or lack thereof seems like an important factor.
it's huge. I mean, it's not everything, but it almost is. Like, if you don't have the self-belief in yourself, you're not going to be able to perform well no matter how hard you work. So the mental aspect is huge.
I think the craziness is a factor too. Like, that was one of the things about you in college is you would play with a little bit of a crazy, you know, crazy eyes. You know, you'd get a little crazy eyes go. But I think what do you think about that? Because I think that is a need for a team. You need Bruce Brown brought that, I thought, in the championship.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that would go in the other huddle just to get under everybody's skin. How important do you think that is as an ingredient for a team?
I mean, I think it's important. I think you definitely need to have guys that, you know, can play a role and, you know, bring the toughness, bring the fight every night, because, you know, we got some of the best scorers in the world.
Right.
I'm not going to step in and be the leading scorer next year. Like, I understand that, but, you know, it's all about finding your role and then just impacting winning from whatever that role is.
Is it hard to be that guy, though, the, like, intensity, that dog, when you're the young guy? Is it hard to go into a team and be like, 'cause you almost want to, you know, just fit it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that hard. I think some people are just more wired like that than others.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't know if I'm what you're talking about. I just, you know, try and play as hard as I can every chance I get. Like, I don't know. I just try and be who I am.
Okay.
So.
You're wrong, Adam. Wrong. No, your scout's off.
My scout's a little off. I've seen him give some crazy eyes. That's all I'm saying. Some of the highlights, there's a little
I think
bit.
the more polite way to say it is like high motor or something like that.
Oh,
know?
do you think it was an insult?
Yeah,
the way
you
I-
gotta be like, I think you play really hard, man. You look insane, but that's all right. That's all right.
Crazy eyes is a good thing. All right, let's take a break. I want to talk about how camp is going this week and ask you about some of your teammates on the other side.
Yeah.
Guys, we are really excited to be partnered with UC Health. Just launched our new partnership with them, and UC Health, they know how important mental health is and encourages Coloradans to live their healthiest lives through statewide initiatives that include taking care of your mental health. So if you want more info on that, uchealth.org/tomorrow. Take care of your mental health today so you can have better tomorrows. And uchealth.org/tomorrow. Like I said, former UC Health patient David Schlick, he was a Colorado teenager who loves being active outdoors, but he actually was also an Olympic hopeful who had his life kind of altered when he lost a leg after a ski training accident. with the help of UC Health, he got back on his feet. He turned, he kept that dream alive and, kept on living his life. So if you want more information on that and more inspiring patient stories from UC Health, uchealth.org/tomorrow, learn what it means to live like there is a tomorrow with UC Health.
We're driven by the search for better here at DNVR. When it comes to hiring, though, the best way to search for a candidate, it's not to search at all. You're not looking for searches. You're looking for matches. Find your match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. It's your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. It doesn't just help you hire faster either. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. And listen, I'm going to do my guy Adam a favor here. If you're looking to work for All City, you don't need to DM him necessarily. Just check Indeed. Check Indeed because we post there.
That message fell on deaf ears, I promise.
Yeah, I know. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. Just go to Indeed.com/AllCity right now and support our show by saying you've heard about Indeed on this here podcast. One more time, Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. You need to hire? You need Indeed.
All right, back here with no longer a rookie, Hunter Tyson. First of all, are you glad to no longer be a rookie?
Yeah, that's not the most fun title in the world.
You don't have to carry that backpack around anymore, right?
I don't plan on it.
There needs to be a ceremonious passing of that from you to
Holmes.
Deron Holmes.
Yeah.
Was there anything else they made you do? Is there any other hazing that comes along with it?
Not really. I mean, the guys on the team are pretty cool. So
Yeah.
it wasn't anything crazy.
I am always curious though, like how when you first met those guys, did you feel timid? Did you feel like this is their space and I gotta just kind of earn my place, or were you comfortable with the guys?
I think they did a good job of making all of us, the rookies, feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they weren't trying to intimidate us or anything. Like they just tried to bring us into the family, and yeah.
Let's ask about this year's Summer League team now and what you guys have going on. Mm-hmm. So, first of all, Andrew Munson, I think the youngest coach in Nuggets Summer League history.
Really?
So, I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what do you...
He's 21 years old.
He's 21.
Just kidding.
But what do you... what's he been like? We haven't really talked to him a whole lot, since he's been on the Nugget staff.
No, he's done a great job. He's actually, this past year, he was my position coach.
Oh, really?
Right.
So I've spent a lot of time with him, whether that be working out, watching film, So I feel like we have a pretty good relationship, and I think he's done a really good job, stepping in, helping to lead this Summer League team. So.
What does a position coach do? And when you say watching film, what kind of stuff are you going over?
Yeah. So, I mean, that could be anywhere from watching film on, other NBA guys, maybe my minutes, or a lot of times we were so I would go to the G League for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, come back up, and then he'd have a bunch of clips cut up, and we'd go over okay, this is what you did really well, this is what you need to try and improve on.
Right.
This is good, but you won't really do that with us. So just different things. And as far as the position coach goes, it's watching film. Doing our daily workout together, and yeah, that's about it.
What is your daily workouts? I mean, is it mostly shooting, ball handling? Where's the emphasis usually?
I mean, it's everything. Ball handling, finishing, catch and shoot off the move, shoot off the dribble, just everything.
Everybody's been saying you've been shooting lights out since the end of the season.
That's the word on the street.
That's the word on the street.
That's the word on the street?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just go out there and try and make shots.
Where's that confidence?
You're so humble, and I love it. You're so polite and humble, but everybody else is Hunter hasn't missed since May.
Yeah, man. I just try and knock it down when it's thrown to me.
What's the chemistry like between you and Julian and Jalen? Mm-hmm. Because you are obviously the three returning guys from last year. You all played Summer League last year. All have been around each other for a year. Are you guys kind of the leaders of this Summer League team?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think the chemistry is great. I think, we spent so much time this past year, playing with each other, playing against each other, just in workouts and stuff. So, yeah, I think the chemistry's been really good, and I'm excited to see how that, carries over next week.
What do you see in Julian's game? Like, how do you break it down, and what are you seeing from him this time around, as you get ready for this summer league?
I mean, he's a great player. He's had a really good camp thus far, and, I expect him to play really well in summer league. It sucks he got injured this past year when he was actually part of the rotation for a little while.
Yeah, he was.
But, yeah, man, I mean, there's no holes in his game. He shoots the fire out the ball, shoots it really quick, is very comfortable, shooting on the move. He's got a good handle, good defender. I mean, there's no holes in his game.
I hear he's a light presence too, a jokester, if you will.
A little bit.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
he seems to have a good personality.
No,
What about Jalen? Like, how do you break down his game? And you played with him obviously last year.
Yeah, me
as well.
and Jalen played a ton. I mean, he's another guy, a really good player, great passer, great distributor, and he can score too. But where he really impacts the game, I think, is just getting other guys open, just being a really good point guard. So.
Yeah. What about Deron Holmes? I mean, we're kind of curious on his game and how it's translating.
No, I mean, he's looked great the first 2 days. He has a super high motor. He's been shooting the ball great. Steps out, knocks down the three.
Really?
Rebounds, plays hard, defends. I'm really excited about him.
Who's the best dunker on the summer league squad?
That's a good question.
Isn't it the guy from Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I was about to say Gabe.
He
he gets
won
up
the
there.
college slam dunk contest.
Yeah,
last
that's what I
year.
heard. Yeah, probably him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has he thrown any down so far?
Yeah, he's dunked a couple.
He's had a couple.
Yeah.
Turned some heads a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what about the two-way guys? I mean, obviously we talked about PJ Hall, but with Alexander, what do you?
Trey? Yeah, Trey's another really good player. He was actually on my combine team last year, but he decided to go back to school, obviously. But, man, he can score the ball. He's really good, tough guard. So,
what's his game? Like, what is he? Scorer, shooter?
Yeah, no, I mean, both.
Yeah.
Scorer, shooter, combo guard.
Okay.
Shoots off the dribble a lot, catch and shoot. I mean, he can score.
Jalen has such a unique game.
Yeah.
Is it for you? Was there an adjustment period kind of getting used to how he plays? And is it different? Like, do you feel like he's different than most point guards?
You could say he has different aspects to his game, but there was no adjustment period. I mean, he makes the game so easy for me. Playing with him in summer league last year was awesome. Like, he got me open so much. So I really like playing with Jalen.
He got you so open that you made first team all summer league.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess so.
I forget, because coming into summer league, obviously Julian goes first round, then you and Jalen second round. Obviously Julian's first on our radar.
Yeah.
But then you come out and absolutely go crazy at summer league, make first team. Like, were you like, oh, this is kind of easy?
I don't know about easy, but no, it definitely went well for me. I made a lot of shots. Like I said, Pick and Julian, the other guys, just did a really good job of finding me when I was open. I was able to, step up and knock it down. But, man, it was a lot of fun.
I think he had 7 threes one game.
Yeah. Versus,
7 of 9 or something.
Yeah, versus Miami.
yeah, he knew that. He knew that one. By
He's
the
like,
way.
I know every spot I made one at too.
Bookmarked up.
That
Top
was
of
such
the
a
key,
fun summer league to
corner,
watch.
left wing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What are you catching fire like that?
Yeah.
So, with summer league, I mean, is your mindset trying to go in and replicate that, top that? Do you worry about that at all?
No, that's not what I'm focused on.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go in there, try and do what I can to help the team win. I think what's important for second year guys. I think a lot of people think all the second year guys want to go out there and try and get 40 every night. And
Right.
getting 40 would be awesome, but I need to go out there and show that I can do what's needed with the Nuggets.
Right.
So that's what I'm focused on.
What are those things, do you think?
Yeah.
I think just, like we've talked about, doing all the little things, just being very competitive, bringing that fire, defending, rebounding, setting good screens, making shots when I'm open, just playing the right way.
Do you think, obviously the next step is on the Nuggets rotation. Do you see yourself more of a 3, more of a 4 combo? What do you envision, or what has been communicated about your role?
I mean, with Summer League right now, I've been the 3 every day.
Okay.
But I think, just being out there is what's important. I don't care if I'm the 3 or the 4. I feel like I can make an impact either way.
Let's talk about your shooting, because the numbers your senior year, you took a bump up. Obviously, you shoot incredible last year, and now everybody says you never miss. So, when is this a thing that shooting was a late add to your game, Or do you feel like this has always been a part of it and just the numbers kind of caught up to you?
Yeah, it's been
later?
the main aspect of my game. You know, it can be hard in college, especially as a freshman and sophomore. Like, you're not – like, I was at the end of the bench. Or not at the end of the bench, but I wasn't starting. Like, I was – so, like, my shots were limited.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a 18-year-old kid who's just coming from high school, when I took 20 shots a game, that can be a little bit different. So it was an adjustment period. But, I mean, that was the first aspect. Like, my dad played in college. Shooting was the main thing we focused on my whole life, so.
When did you start taking threes? At what age?
I mean.
Pretty early on?
I mean, when I was playing on 8 foot, I was jacking
Really?
threes. So, like, I've always
the new
generation.
New
New
way.
way,
As soon as
baby.
you can get the ball up, you just start
for
taking
sure.
them.
Can it be annoying though? Just here, do you ever feel like there's more to my game than shooting? Because it is what everyone mentions when they talk about you.
I mean, honestly, I don't really care what people say. Like,
Good attitude.
like, if I just want to go out there and, you know, play my game, do whatever I can, and if you see me as just a shooter, cool. But, like, as long as I'm making an impact, then that's really all I care about.
With KCP gone, he was arguably the best shooter on the Nuggets. You got Jamal, Michael Porter, you.
Yeah.
Who's the best shooter on the team?
Probably Mike. I mean, Mike lights it up, man.
Yeah.
He makes some shots that just blow your mind. I mean, he'll take one, you'll be like, and it goes in, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's Mike.
Well, also because
We have the same reaction.
he jumps so high and he has such a high release, it's just unblockable too.
Yeah.
So it's like every look is pretty much
Exactly,
a decent
like-
look.
For me and you watching, it might be like, Mike, like what? And but for him, he's like, I don't even see this guy.
Right.
Right.
And honestly, no one ever gets mad if Mike shoots because,
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the world.
Right.
So, like,
Kind of feel like he's supposed to shoot out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
We joke. He used to, like, his rookie year, he would take the ones that you go, he would take like 7 a game. We miss
Yeah.
it. We
Yeah.
kind of enjoyed the crazy
Oh.
shots.
Talk about the early confidence. That guy would let him fly.
yeah.
We missed that one. Let's talk about Grand Rapids real quick.
Okay.
Andre Miller's one of my favorite players of all time. And now you played for him. Like, what's he like as a coach and a personality?
Yeah, he was good, man. He's got a great personality. He actually likes to joke around a lot.
Yeah.
Keep things light. But as far as like a student of the game and
Yeah.
being knowledgeable about the game, I mean, he's probably second to none. Like, he knows everything. And it was really good this past year just trying to learn from him. And him passing some of that knowledge down was really good.
What kind of stuff is that, though? Like, I always wonder, the guys, because he's a basketball genius, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I mean, with the way he played it. And I always think, like, how do you articulate that to everybody? How do you share it? So
Yeah.
what is it that he's sharing with you?
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one thing. I mean, I probably played 40 games down there, so it's just different things throughout the season, like different games. Like, he's telling me, like, hey, when you catch the ball like this, you might want to pivot this way so you get an advantage on your defender rather than going this way. Like, different things like that.
Those are great details, though.
Yeah.
Did he share the trick with you where he fake called the timeout one time and then dribbled in for the layup? Have you
Nah,
seen that
I don't
highlight
think
of
I've
his?
seen that one.
He had this play. I think he might have been on Portland when he had that play where he dribbled to the floor, dribbled over towards the sideline like he was going to call a timeout.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was, and then he just, wide open right to the rim.
Yeah, he's also the best lob thrower, I think, of all time.
Yeah.
Does he ever tell you that?
Arguably, yeah.
He didn't have to. He never
You-
told me that,
really?
but I've seen clips.
Yeah.
I mean, there was actually a clip of LaMarcus Aldridge last year. He was talking about when he got to play with Andre,
Right.
he wasn't used to guys
Yeah.
just like finding him perfectly with the lob. And he said it changed his whole game.
There's only a handful of players, I feel. Luka's one of them. Well, they'll throw lobs that you don't know where it's to, and then you'll see it, and it's like, oh, it's perfectly to
Yeah.
a guy. And we have a bird's eye view. And Andre Miller, I think, did that once a game where he would just throw it up, and you'd be like, nobody's even looking. Oh, there, it's wide open.
Yeah.
Joker,
JaVale
too,
McGee.
when he just throws it up and Aaron
AG,
Gordon comes
yeah.
out of nowhere.
The floater.
Reverse 180.
Floater oop.
Those ones, yeah, you see him like a half split second afterwards because they're always wide open, but he does them so quick.
Yeah.
Is it hard to feel connected to the team when you're down in Grand Rapids?
I don't know if it's hard to feel connected. I mean, you're obviously not there. You're not with them every day. But like, there's no coming back from Grand Rapids. There's no adjustment period. Like, it's just you just go back into things like you've been there the whole time. But yeah, I think down there maybe you can say that a little bit because you're watching the games on television versus being on the bench and
Yeah.
like going through shoot around and stuff like that. So,
But is it feel kind of in lockstep with, like, you're up with the Denver Nuggets, they're telling you to focus on XYZ, then you're down in the G League. Like, do you feel like there's synergy between the two organizations?
There's definitely synergy, but there's also more freedom in the G League, as to be expected. But they do a good job communicating and, telling, like, the G League coaching staff, and they did a really good job of saying, all right, this is what you need to work on, this is what we'll focus on.
Gotcha.
So.
And then the Munson thing is cool, that he's got clips ready when you get back.
Yeah.
So
I am curious, though, just how are you a better player now than you were this time last year, in your opinion?
I mean, I think all aspects of my game, as far as, like, from my body to my shooting release is faster. I'm more comfortable shooting off the move, dribbling, defending. I mean, I say all aspects.
is faster a priority for you right now, the release time?
Absolutely. I mean, it was last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as much of a priority now because I've repped it for the past 10 months.
Sure.
But, I mean, that was a big priority.
Do you work with, like, shooting coaches and stuff? And what is that? How do you make your release faster? Just literally taking the same shot and trying to replicate it at a quicker
Reps.
speed?
I mean, our shooting coach, Mike P., spent a lot of time with him, especially last fall. And then he just, told me a few different things about the importance of getting it off quicker. And he's worked with guys like Kyle Korver and Paul George and all these different guys that can shoot the ball really well. And, we just repped getting it off quicker, not dropping it sometimes. And you do that for a year straight, it just starts to become natural.
Really? Have you ever seen his highlights back when he played?
I have, yeah.
What do you think? He's kind of a tiny little guy.
I
but
mean, he could shoot the cover off the ball.
yeah. If nobody's ever
Tiny
seen,
little
you could Google Mike Penberthy. That guy, he was kind of like a mini JJ Redick almost. Like, no shot was too crazy for
Kind
him.
of same hair, too.
The same look. That was the look back then, man.
It was.
All right, let's take a break. On the other side, some questions about this last season with the Nuggets, being around some of these guys. Other questions, general question about the Nuggets, and then we have a game for you at the end to wrap up the show that
right.
I think you'll like, but I don't know.
All right,
I
let's
think
see.
you'll know.
Guys, we are here in the Toyota Lounge. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. They've built durable legends destined for greatness, perfect for Colorado. Cars, trucks, SUVs, whatever you want, Toyota's got it. They got the 2024 Tacoma. They just brought back the 2024 Land Cruiser as well. They have 17 different models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. They also offer 16 different hybrid vehicles. They got SUVs too, like the RAV4 and the Grand Highlander. So whatever you're looking for, check out Toyota. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe, and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. It's the official vehicle of DNVR. And if you want cars, trucks, SUVs, whatever you need, Toyota has it. Check out the 2024 Land Cruiser, their 4Runner, the RAV4, the Grand Highlander. They got it all.
You know what's boring? Ordinary. That's why I like Bet365. They don't do ordinary. They believe every sport should be epic. Right now, new customers can choose between two offers when they open an account at Bet365. Use the code DNVR365 to sign up. Deposit $10. Choose between your bet and get offer, your first bet safety net offer, and then keep your eyes peeled for all kinds of fun offers. They're just going to sprinkle in there throughout the respective sports seasons. When basketball kicks back up again, NBA basketball, I should say, keep an eye out for that early payout offer. You can get your straight bets paid out or parlay selections marked as a winner when your team goes up by 20 points, even if they lose the game. Sometimes that happens.
I hate this ad read.
I hate it too. Yeah, must be. It is. It feels written to
It feels like it's here to torture us.
torture us all.
Yeah, like Game 7 against the Timberwolves.
Oh, thanks, Win.
thanks for-
it was heavily implied.
We were all thinking it.
Yeah. But you have to be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, we're back here with Hunter Tyson. I want to ask you about the team and sort of the experience late in the year. And one of the legends of last year was at the All-Star break or coming out of it, Nikola Jokic sent a text message to the team that fired everybody up.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the message and that moment?
I mean, I think he just said what needed to be said. It was time to really lock in and, focus on the things we needed to do in order to finish the season the right way. And, him being the leader he is that people don't always see. He knew what needed to be said. He conveyed it to us, and when he talks, people listen.
Yeah.
It's
Is he active in the group chat?
at times.
Yeah. So he picks spots every now and then. He gets it. Yeah.
At times.
Does he have more of that leadership stuff behind the scenes than we see publicly? I mean, obviously the text message. I've got to think there's more of that kind of stuff that we just don't see.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good leader, and yeah, I'm sure you guys don't see a quarter of the stuff that he does.
Yeah, we're not in the group chats.
Yeah.
We tried, actually.
We really
said
tried to
no.
break in. He wouldn't let us. But the year, so, you talk about the message and it was received. The 15 games out of the All-Star break were some of the best of the entire year. I thought the team reached this point. And down the stretch, it looked like started to wear down. Maybe the injury to Jamal and some other guys started to get banged up. But if you walk us through, what were your observations of the team in that time, and what were you feeling when the team went on that win streak? We were like, here it is. This is it.
Yeah.
In go mode.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a little bit of that time in the G League, but I just thought everyone was, focused on the right things, and that's doing what we needed to do to win.
Yeah.
Playing the right way, guarding, playing hard,
Yeah.
not getting out toughed.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we did that this year, there was nobody better.
Yeah.
So.
The game that stands out to me in the playoffs, and it was the last great moment, but Jokic's Game 5 against the Wolves was one of the best I'd seen him play.
Yeah.
If you recall, it was a masterpiece.
He was phenomenal.
He was phenomenal, and unfortunately, obviously going to lose Game 6 or 7. But I just walking through that series, there were big performances from a lot of guys, but that one in particular, I just remember being like, this is one of the all-timers.
Yeah.
And he's had some great ones, but this one's up there.
No, I mean, he was, like you said, he was phenomenal. I mean, he was unstoppable. When he gets like that, there's nobody in the world that can do anything to mess with him he played amazing.
What are you doing on the bench when this is happening? Like, what's your bench style when there's a masterpiece going on?
Cheering a lot, I guess. I mean, standing up a lot.
I don't know. Everybody has their own different way.
I think Julian. What was the play where Julian Strawther it looked like his soul left his body when he was celebrating all of that?
I want to say that was one of AG's crazy dunks.
Probably.
I think
so.
there was some.
He's a good bench celebration guy.
Who do you think on the team hates losing the most,
Who do I think hates losing the most?
or takes losses the hardest? Maybe.
So I'm going to answer that question maybe in a little bit of a different way. When we lost to Minnesota in Game 7, obviously everyone was very down, and nobody enjoyed it. But nobody took that loss harder than CB.
That's what I
I
heard.
mean, he hadn't finished a season without winning since, who knows?
Since he was a kid.
That's a great point.
So, that loss hurt. It hurt everyone.
Yeah.
But you could just tell, it did something a little bit different to him.
Huh.
So what is he just in the locker room, just not saying anything, and then you notice he's back in the gym 6 a.m. next morning?
No,
or
it wasn't that. It's
tell
just
that?
his demeanor.
Yeah.
It was just, you could tell it really hurt him.
So we've asked about a lot of guys, but we haven't asked about Michael Malone. What's he like? Our impression of him, he's a character. I mean, he's hilarious. He's also kind of a psycho. So, how intense is he, and what's his personality like?
He's fiery for sure, especially in games. But, off the court, he's a good guy to talk to. He's joking around.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's got a great personality.
I think he has a good personality. I think he's a really good coach. So
Yeah. That seems like a PC answer, or the PR
I mean, he's
answer,
battling for a rotation.
he's
heading into next
These
season.
softballs only.
Trying to set him
let's
up
try that
here.
again. How great is Coach Malone?
That's so funny, man. Here's a hard-hitting one. The Olympics are around the corner.
We're putting you on the spot.
Putting
Hunter.
you really on the spot here. There's Team USA. Mm-hmm. There's Team Canada with Jamal.
Yeah.
There's Team Serbia. Where's your allegiance for the Olympics?
I'm American, baby.
All right. No hesitation.
It's all those two guys. You're like, sorry, fellas, playing for silver.
It's a little different. Yeah.
It's a little different. I like it.
No hesitation.
That is a pretty good one. What else you guys got?
What's it like just being, teammates with the best player in the world? I mean, you spoke about his leadership a little bit, but in practices, sometimes in games, you ever just holy shit, this dude is ridiculous. What's it just like being around him every day?
I mean, all the time I think this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when we have real practices where because during the season, there's not, we're not practicing every day.
Right.
It's pretty rare that we have a real practice where we're, going live. I mean, that almost never happens.
Right.
But I remember at training camp last year, it was my first time really playing with him. And, just some of the things he sees, like when he's catching the ball like this and throws it like that, it's just like, man, how do you do that?
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, it's been awesome.
How often
have
do
you
you-
ever tried rakia?
I don't think I ever actually tried it.
So you didn't get in on it when all you guys went over to his house before the playoffs last year?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I did. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's not good.
Yeah. It is not good. It's a tough sip for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys? How often do you get to play with him? Because you mentioned practice almost never, but in training camp and stuff, how much are you on his squad?
I was on his team a good amount in training camp last year.
Really?
Maybe played with him a little bit in preseason. I don't even remember. I definitely did a little bit in preseason, but I hadn't played with him since.
But just the lack of practice time you were just talking about, because I've always been curious about this for guys fighting for a spot. Like, does that make the G League that much more important? Because where and when are you able to get those reps in? I'm sure it's not often.
Well, so they don't practice live. We practice live every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You got you and
we
Jalen
have 3-on-3 games,
Gotcha.
1-on-1 games. I mean, every single day. So there's no lack of reps. I can tell you that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just lastly here for me, what is your goal this year, and how much do you think about playing real minutes, getting on the squad and getting real minutes up?
I mean, I think about it all the time. I mean, obviously that's what I want to do. That's
Right.
what I'm working towards. Would love to crack the rotation, but I'll do whatever the team needs. Whether that be, going out there playing 20 minutes a night, going out there playing 5 minutes a night, just whatever I can do to help this team be successful, that's what I'm going to do. So,
Who's the funniest guy on the team?
probably DeAndre Jordan.
I think that's right.
You know what? I can
Seems
see
right.
that. Seems like a good hang.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
I mean, he's just funny. It's just his personality.
Yeah. Feels like he's a great locker room dude.
Yeah, no.
Who's the second most country guy on the team?
I mean, now probably PJ. If
Right.
you want to talk about last year,
Yeah.
who's actually a little country is Justin Holiday.
I knew
Saw him. So you were talking about fishing, man. He's a fisherman.
That's
Yeah,
right.
He went
is.
fishing. He went on a fishing trip to Wyoming
Yeah.
in last summer.
So
I wasn't invited.
he's a little bit of a fake, a little fake fisherman, maybe.
No,
no.
I'm not saying
maybe
that.
just
I think it takes real commitment if you go all the way up to Wyoming. There's not a lot to see
Yeah.
in Wyoming, so that means you're a real fisherman. All right. On that account, we're going to play a little game with you to get out of here. If you're up for it, it's a little goofy.
Let's do it.
Kale, bring it up on screen here. It is hunter or hunted. So this became a phrase that the Nuggets used nonstop last year. We kind of got annoyed of it, being we're now the hunted, not the hunter. But for you, we're going to ask a series of animals, and you're going to tell us if you could defeat them in hand-to-hand combat.
All right, and this is life on the line.
Life on the line. It's like a cage match, basically. You and the animal.
So it's either I die or they die.
You're either the hunter or the
All right,
hunted in
let's
this
do it.
one. All right, what's our first animal here? A beaver. You versus a beaver. Fight to the
slow.
death.
We're starting slow.
So if I win, that means I'm the hunter.
You're the hunter.
I'm the hunter.
All right, he's the hunter. He can take the beaver. That was a softball.
I can't believe we led with beaver.
Well, how does you have to give one to
Well,
warm
yeah,
up?
you're right,
You know?
you're
Like,
right.
the beaver's the easy one.
Gauge
All right.
the confidence.
What do we have here? A farm pig.
Yeah.
A farm pig.
Hunter, for
A
sure.
hunter. They're tougher though.
I'm not worried about it.
This was an easy one.
Hunter's like, this actually happened like a couple years ago.
Yeah, have you ever like wrestled a pig? They're kind of hard to wrestle. All right, what do we got here? What's next? Raccoon.
Raccoon.
These are like 10 pounds.
Hunter, yeah.
Come on. All right, these are getting too easy. Let's ramp it up, Gail. What do we have? A mule deer.
Hunter.
Are you sure about this?
If it's my life on the line versus theirs, I'm winning.
This is one where I think you're right, but a deer's going to be harder. This is like 130 pounds. This is a mule deer, not a
I
whitetail.
think,
Like
Hunter,
you guys.
I think Hunter weighs more than 130
Well, I mean,
pounds.
he does, but he doesn't have horns.
That's a good point. That's a strong
Do you want me
counter.
to change my answer? 'Cause I'm not gonna-
I'm just putting pressure on to make sure you really can do this. All right, what do we have? Let's ramp it up. An ostrich.
I thought we were ramping it up.
Hunter.
Ostrich? Really? This is still too
I mean,
easy?
I'm going to just grab it by the neck.
It's a big neck.
You
Yeah.
think you ostriches
Grab by
are-
the neck.
I think we're starting to get into the territory where the animals are tougher than you think they are. An ostrich is kind of a
Dude,
beast.
Hunter is an NBA size
That's true.
human
He
being.
is a professional
This
athlete.
is a different.
All right, what do we
combo.
have? A coyote.
Hunter.
I don't know
Really?
if you heard they released some of these into the wild.
That's wolves.
Colorado.
That's wolves.
Yeah.
This is just a little coyote. I think you're right on this one, but I think you're tore up.
I'm probably, but I'm not dying.
Nah, dude. To be honest with you, I could take a coyote.
Man, you guys
So-
are insane. All right, what else do we have? A kangaroo.
Hunter.
Oh, dude. I kind of want to see you box. I
I think we're these things because have you seen their toes? They
Their
have they have crazy claws. Their claws are like this long, and they
you
grab
seen
you.
their
What they do is they
toes?
actually grab you like this and then stab you with their legs.
How do you know that?
This is what I
winning.
do. He's like, I'm not worried about it. All right, there's gonna be no animals he's scared of. What do we got next?
No. Giraffe.
A baby giraffe.
Oh,
Full size giraffe
Hunter,
is kicking
Hunter.
your ass. A baby one. Really?
Yeah, baby giraffe.
All right. I think we might be crazy. What do we have next? A bighorn sheep.
Hunter.
brother.
See, y'all don't understand. If it is coming down to me dying or the animal,
I think you got your ass kicked off the cliff is what happened on this thing. Like he just ran.
What
right
about a
into you.
blue whale?
I mean,
We got animals here. All right. He thinks the bighorn sheep he's taken as well. Honey badger.
Hunter. They're not that big.
Yeah, they're small.
Yeah, this is true.
These animals are insane, though.
Yeah.
You can't. You know you
There's-
can't shoot
there's a-
them.
there's
you
a
can't
size
shoot a honey
mismatch here,
badger.
though.
That's how thick their
Size
fur
mismatch.
is.
Yeah, size mismatch, brother.
Man, you guys are insane. You don't let him around a honey badger. This would be dead. All right. What else do we have? A black bear.
Black bear, Hunter. All right, let me. No. You said black
That's
bear.
the smallest
Yeah,
of the
no,
bears. So
black
you're right. No,
bear.
I
You're
got
right.
it. It's a black bear.
He knows
I'm
his
not
bears.
dying.
This is incredible. That's all we got. All right. What? You're not dying.
I won. Let's go.
You won. I thought I put a bunch you could take and one you could not. His name is Hunter.
If you would have put grizzly bear, I probably would have said.
You probably would have.
Yeah, I would have.
Not for sure though,
No, I would have said the grizzly bear.
but not a black bear. All right.
All right, well, we find the line. We
Have
found
you
the
ever
line.
encountered any of these animals in the wild?
Any of those? I mean, a mule deer.
Yeah. I got attacked
I've
by a
seen
mule deer once.
ostriches.
This is a true story.
I guess you were the hunter.
I was the hunted on that one. Nope. I got my
You
ass
survived
running?
though.
No, I got pinned to the ground, and then my parents had to save me.
Wait, really?
I was a child. Yeah.
Oh,
That
You
sounds
got
pretty
you
scary.
hear this
You
story?
got pinned to the ground by a mule deer.
By a mule deer up at the Canyon City. What's the arch there? The Royal Gorge.
Yeah.
That's where I was
That
attacked.
must have been a pretty
You hear-
traumatic experience.
Well, you hear these stories and you think like, what an idiot kid, and then you get older and you're like, what are my parents doing? But I was getting attacked by an animal. But yeah, that's the story. And that,
Shockingly, our Australians are more upset with the ostrich pick than the kangaroo.
guys, I try to tell you about the animal kingdom. Ostriches are so tough, man. You guys need to learn a little bit more about ostriches. They're wild.
Have you been to the Denver Zoo yet?
don't know.
You need to go there and just stare down all these
You know,
animals.
let them know I could take
Yeah,
you.
like send the message.
All right, hit that outro music, Kale. Do we have any super chats? All right, we have some super chats for you. The people have some questions for you.
Macaroo, Mike Malone, give Larry
yeah.
Bird 2.0. I mean Hunter Tyson some minutes. He is a bucket. I need a 40-piece in summer league.
There you go.
So last year at Summer
Well, I
League, Michael
appreciate it,
Malone
man.
compared you to Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Not to
remember
like set
that.
expectations too high.
What else? Do
He
we
said
got?
he's got a little Larry Bird to his game.
Another one from the Toyota chat. Bubbles Buzzer Beater. Hi Hunter, my name is Bubbles. That's his
What up,
legal name,
Bubbles?
and I'm a big fan. Question: was it weird having to go to middle school or high school when your dad was the principal?
That's actually a great question. So my dad was the principal in high school, and it was definitely weird my freshman year. But it's something you get used to. I mean, and you know, my dad tried to let me have my space, but you know, going in there my freshman year, it was definitely very weird.
Did you ever get in trouble?
I did.
Did you have to go to the principal's
I
office?
did. One time, and it wasn't good.
Good question,
good.
Bubbles.
PS14. What's good, Hunt? Couple of questions. What has been the biggest challenge since being drafted? And how was it playing for Andre Miller in Grand Rapids?
That's
We
that
did
one.
cover that one. Has Jokic introduced you to Rocket?
covered that
Also
one.
covered. Good luck for the season.
There's
mate.
really nothing there except for the biggest
biggest challenge
Yeah.
since being drafted.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the questions. I would say the biggest challenge has just been, you know, trying to stay ready. When you're playing games, like whether I'm in the G League or in college, like, and I'm playing every other night, like it's easy to stay disciplined, stay ready. But when you don't know if you're gonna play for till next season, or if for some reason you might get thrown out there, you know, in a week or 2 weeks, if, you know, God
Right.
forbid someone get injured, it can be tough. But that's just when discipline really comes into play.
Right.
So.
What else, Kale?
Macaharu again. Year of the Hunter.
No, he just wanted to tell you that. It's the year of the hunter.
Yes, sir.
Anything
I'm
else?
probably going to hear that a lot.
Couple more. 55555-ish. My big takeaway is that if I'm stranded in the woods and I had to pick one Nuggets player to defend me from wildlife, I'm choosing Hunter.
That's probably not a bad pick.
That probably is a
Yeah.
good pick.
That's
I
a
will
big
say,
takeaway.
I now wish I would have put way crazier in, like a lion or something.
I know.
on
We
there.
need to go bigger.
We need to go. I thought I'd put appropriate
Yeah.
level competition.
6 scores. Who is Summer League MVP and why is his name Hunter Tyson?
There you go. Yeah,
like
last
it.
year
I like
all
it.
summer league. This year MVP. We'll see.
Is there a Summer League MVP trophy? There's got to be, right?
I'm sure. Sure, it's sponsored by
Did you
someone.
get anything for all first team Summer League, like a plaque or anything?
Maybe a couple Instagram posts.
There you
We'll
go.
take it. Is that it, Kel?
All righty. Thank you so much, man, for
Yeah,
spending
thanks
some
for
time.
hanging out,
Really
man.
appreciate
That
it.
was fun.
And, you know, we'll be rooting for you all year. Cool. Everybody, thanks for hopping in the chat today. And we'll be back tomorrow. We got 2 more shows this week before we head to Vegas for Summer League. Hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you on the other side.
We all silly like the mayor.